Hello, my name is Scott Kidd. I'm the Vice President of Food and Beverage at Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland. I brought you here to my kitchen today as a first step of putting together some ingredients for Father's Day feast. Father's Day is just around the corner, so I thought I'd share some ideas with you of some things that you might like to make for your dad. All right, so several things we're going to make right here today. We're going to make some chimichurri, which is a traditional sauce you're going to find in South America, usually served with beef, but also great with chicken, grilled shellfish, and grilled seafood. For side dishes, I've made some bacon wrapped asparagus here, and so this is real easy to do. You take a piece of bacon, basically just depending on the size of the bacon, cut it into 4 or 5 pieces. You're going to wrap your asparagus spears up. We're going to cook these in the air fryer later, get them nice and crisp. Now I've also made some marinated shrimp we're going to do on the grill for our Father's Day platter. Got some large shrimp. This has been marinated with a squeeze of fresh lime juice, olive oil, red pepper flakes, a little bit of chopped fresh basil from my window. And so we're going to let these marinate for a little while. So to make the chimichurri first, we have some flat leaf parsley here. It's about a cup. We're going to put into the processor. Now this particular recipe, or for any chimichurri, I've seen many variations of this from my fellow chef friends. Some make it in a blender, some make it in a Cuisinart. So really there's no wrong way to do it. Now we've got our fresh parsley, we've got our fresh garlic in here, and we've got some fresh oregano. Now we're going to pulse this first, and just to chop it up really good. So you don't have to go crazy. The goal of this is to have a finely, almost a puree type of texture to it. Just run it for a minute. And so as you chop these ingredients up, what's going to bind this together is a nice fruity olive oil. I've got a great Spanish olive oil here that's going to float all these flavors. So you've got the freshness of the herbs, you've got the pungency of the garlic. We're going to add some red chili flakes to this, a little bit of salt, and that's all that it really is. You're going to basically spoon this over your protein when it comes off the grill, and it's a great side dish for very many things. You can make it ahead, about a day ahead. So you can see here we've got a nice fine chop here. We're going to add our chili flakes in, and we're only going to blend it a little bit more. Calls for a little bit of salt. Oh, the smell, you can smell it, it's wonderful. You smell the garlic with the herbs. And now as it's pureeing, we're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of this nice fruity olive oil. And you'll see the final result here in just a moment. There we go. So Cuisinarts are great in the aspect of you can make all kinds of dressings and sauces in them. And the beauty is that you're mixing as you're chopping. So you put it on, let it run, and just slowly add the olive oil in until you're incorporating. And let it run for just a moment more. Now, if you're doing this in a blender because you didn't have the Cuisinart, you get a much more puree look to it. Whereas you can see here, what we have is this wonderful, it is pureed, but it's a chunky puree, and this is what you're going to be spooning over your protein. So, for the featured item on our Father's Day platter, we've got a beautiful Tomahawk Rib Eye Steak, and that'll be in our next segment, and we'll be right back. Thank you. All right, welcome back. I thought we would go through all of our ingredients before we head out to the grill. Great steak for Father's Day. I've chosen a perfect steak. This is a long bone ribeye steak here. This is about a 42-ounce piece of meat with the bone on here. Now, where do you get this kind of steak? You'd want to talk to your butcher at your local grocery store. This is probably an advance order. You might find this in some premium butcher shops, especially cut for Father's Day. But this is a nice aged ribeye. You can see we got beautiful marbling in here. Nice fat cap on this. So on the grill, this is going to take probably about 15 minutes to cook. We're going to cook it to medium rare. I finished all my bacon wrapped asparagus right here. These we're going to cook in the air fry oven. Our shrimp's been marinating now for a number of hours. And I'm also going to finish the plate with some beautiful grilled zucchini and peppers. So we'll be back in just a little while. I'm going to cook all this stuff up. We're going to assemble on our platter, and we look forward to seeing you in just a few minutes. All right, we thought we'd start with our vegetables on the grill here first. See, we got our zucchini and peppers out here on the gas grill here. So we'll get these done first, and then we'll move on to the shrimp and the steak right after that. See you in just a minute. Now, while our vegetables are grilling out on the grill, I've got my air fry oven set up here, and so this is our first batch of asparagus, and you can see after 8 minutes we get this beautiful oven roasted asparagus and nice crispy bacon all wrapped around it. These are so delicious to eat, so these will become part of our platter here. We'll be back in just a minute. Now, you can see here we've got our steak here up on the top shelf. And it's important when you're cooking a really thick piece of steak. We've got our grill temperature here right about 500 degrees. You see here, between 550 is where you want to be. You may have to adjust your temperatures up or down, or your burners up and down. But you can tell. People ask me, how do you tell when a steak's done? All right, couple of things here. The color of the steak, the longer it cooks, the more that you want it cooked, the color is going to continue to change. It's going to become this darker brown. Now, you don't want to burn the steak, but obviously we have nice grill marks here. But what you can also see is how does it respond to touch, all right? Now, this steak right now is just a little bit above rare, all right? You can see that it gives to the touch of the tongs, all right? You can also use a temperature or a thermometer if you like. Or if you don't have a thermometer, you can take a metal rod, insert it, touch it to the bottom of your lip. If it's warm, it's medium rare. Now, we're also grilling our shrimp here as well, and you can see shrimp are very tender, so you want to grill them at a lower temperature. We're just trying to put a little bit of color and mark on them. You see the marinade showing through here. We've got the herbs on there. And so these are just about done and ready to come off. The most important part, whether you're doing a large ribeye like this, if maybe you're doing a large porterhouse or a large strip, something like that, is once we take this meat off, we're going to take it off here in just a few minutes, is that we let it rest. When I say rest, we're going to take it off the grill, we're going to put it on a plate, and we're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes, all right? It's going to continue to carry over as it sits, all right? So we'll be back to assemble the platter in just a few minutes. Now, we've got all of our ingredients finally ready to go. So I've got this great platter here, and you can see here I've got our steak that's been resting for about 10 minutes. I've got our beautiful bacon-wrapped asparagus here. We've got our grilled vegetables and our shrimp skewers, and the chimichurri sauce that we made earlier today goes well with all these things. From all of us at Live, we'd like to wish all of you fathers happy Father's Day. We know you deserve a great platter of food. This is time to feast like royalty, and we look forward to seeing you back at the casino real soon. Have a great day.